What's going on, YouTube? Hello and good evening. Today I'm gonna be starting a new series, the White Belt Wizardry. We're gonna my thoughts, my lessons, and hopefully, in the comments, maybe some lessons that I can learn on this initial journey of mine. And today, first episode, we're gonna be discussing magic and really how it all works. Where does it all begin? And the first thing that they teach you in science in school, you remember, what is the universe made out of? Atoms, protons, neutrons. We're going to start the same way. We're going to we're going to make reflections on the spiritual, magical side of things and go about it the same way. Want to start to learn something? What is it all made out of? And so, on my other, it'll be kid friendly on my other podcast, my other episodes. I can get a little ignorant, but not today. We're gonna keep it PG today. And so, a little backstory. Um, I don't know, was a bookworm kid. Started my first book. It was reading the biography of Akim Olajuwon. Then I think in the sixth, seventh grade, I think I read the biography of Malcolm X, and then the rest is history. I just couldn't stop. And so, but my spiritual journey never really began up until my first years in the army. And I met this very good friend of mine and introduced me to, like, I always was a religious kid, but I never, in high school, I never knew what the Illuminati, or he introduced me all that, the Alex Jones, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds, Bilderbergs, all these conspiracy theories. And from there, that kind of seed of metaphysical thinking germinated. And here I am today. So, magic, how does it all work? The way I see it, we all know about the four elements, and I mean that's how it all starts. Earth, soul starts alchemically, fire, earth, air, and water. But I also like to think about them in the four basic emotions, which is or thoughts, which is imagination, intuition, control, and fear. And they all represent certain things. And control, fear, imagination, and intuition, you have to really introspect. It's a critique that I have with modern society is that it's too extroverted. We seek too many answers outside of us. We don't think about the palace or the castle inside of us. So really meditate, contemplate on the interplay between these kinds of thinkings, imagination contrasted with them, fear and intuition juxtaposed with control, and then this sort of these almost mathematical fractal patterns. Uh, Fractals. They used to be a puzzle that I used to love, and fractals. Just in case you don't know what I'm talking about here, fractals. I'll just go over it. Like little spirally, awesome looking um, designs. Bam. That's what we're talking about here. That stuff. See, you got to understand those really complex dynamic interplays between those emotions, imagination, etc. The four alchemical elements, and understand these, and telling you that your life would be imbued with this awe, this sort of it'll be imbued with this awe that I promise you might get. You I mean, magic and spirituality, I take it as a science and art, telling you, you discover the joy of magic, and it's gonna just really imbue this this ineffable enthusiasm, this sort of awe-inspiring, just uh, phoenix-like fire in you. Let's get into it. All right, I'm gonna draw a little diagram. So start off with imagination, which to me represents what I think of as the divine masculine. And it's the alchemical element of fire. And fire has this, it all begins with people describe love as a warm sensation, as this warm, as this passion, this fiery passion. And that's where this all begins, the fire of life. And it's really masculine in nature because it's asks you to take a call to action, to improve yourself, to refine yourself, right? How do we refine metals? How do we turn base metals into gold? You heat them up, and you burn off all that how should I say, those impurities off of you. And what we got, intuition, what I like to think of as the divine feminine. This is the alchemy of air, and it's I could think back to the allegory of the cave, and you know, you don't want to be stuck thinking that you know everything, because hubris and pride can be counterproductive, and you got to get outside that cave, get a breath of fresh air. And so, feminine by I mean because intuition, you need to be receptive, passive, and you're not going to know everything, and so you have to have this passivity, this reception to have the masters, the guides, the gods and goddesses teach you and give you lessons to learn and grow. And take that in, take that breath in. Take those. There's endless opportunities, endless lessons that you can learn in this life. Don't Time is not for wasting, and that's why. Now we'll get into the shadow emotions, the two shadow emotions, the demonic emotions, right? And one of them is fear, the demonic feminine, right? And this is the alchemy of water. Now, the same water that gives us life is also the same water that can drown us. The, the same water, the same dirty water that we drink and can get us sick. And so, to be completely bold, you need you need a little darkness, a little, might I even say, evil, a little cool, right? It's cold is just a lack of heat. You know, good is just a lack of morals. Evil is just a lack of morals. I misspoken. So you need a little bit of that shadow, that coldness, to not burn into ashes. It sustains us. It's a Fear is important because it helps us. We want to survive. We want to maintain our life here. But too much, too extreme, and we have the plan. Too much fear could be toxic. You can drown yourself with it. You can poison the very water that you drink. You can end up in a liquid abyss, just like some sort of Lovecraftian um, elder god or something. Just end up becoming this sea monster where you're just drowned in this fear, and it just and that's why with these emotions you gotta be a little more careful. So then we get into control, which I think is the demonic masculine. Control, to discipline, to wanting it, not wanting to let go, and just this sort of possessive, um, just not to let go of your mommy's hand. You just want everything to be controlled, and that is by the represented by the demonic masculine. I see this a lot with every day with the alpha male, the guy with his pretty girl. He's not gonna let go. Don't talk to other guys. Don't flirt with other guys. Don't. It's possessive, mine, and I wanted things my way. This could be healthy. This is represented by the alchemy of earth, and it's not. It's good to have a little control in your life, to bring us back down to planet Earth. And the healthy control is to control yourself, to discipline yourself, right? To just stay your own personal course to your own truth, to your own divinity, and not to stay off the course. That's awesome. That's self-discipline, but it can become toxic because then you want that the way that you walk towards God is the way that everybody else has to do it. These four things, you know, contemplate these four things as they're important. And the reason why, maybe because your spells don't work, or maybe because you're not seeing or manifesting the spirits that you want to invoke or evoke, it all probably has something to do with you not having these elements in your life. You're a hollow. You have a bit of hollowness, right? And so Kabbalah means to receive. Clip off. I don't know what that means, but so the Kabbalah is it's represented by the Jewish traditions call the Otz Chaim, the tree of life. And that's what it is. It's these interplay between these four elements, and they give you life. They breathe that into you. They, you're not living in this solipsistic dimension where you think everything revolves around you. You're fighting. You're standing up for yourself, but you're also receptive to new ideas. You want a little control in your life and to control yourself, but you don't want to be a dominating dictator either. And you're also, don't be so radical. Take a step back. Don't get so heated. Don't get so impassioned, but not to the point where you just end up, you know, cold-hearted and depressed and bitter either. Did you understand that? Right? You gotta, if you want to understand math, you gotta first understand whole numbers, integers, how to count. One apple, two apples, three apples. Take away an apple, take away two apples, right? You want to understand language? You gotta understand grammar. The letter A is the letter A, the letter B is the letter B. These letters in conjunction represent a concept. CAT represents an animal, cat, the basics, right? So I want to help people understand these things. There's too little. There is and there is. This little. I think the spirituality movement just needs a little more direction, a little more logic, eh, analysis to it. Um, show you a little graph, and we'll be on with our day. All right. Here, just going to be showing you a little graph that I find helpful. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. So we got good. We got evil. And what is good? What is evil? Well, maybe this little graph will help us out. I feel like Bob Ross or something right now. We got good here, right? Shout out to my second grade teacher. Not the best penmanship. I'm sorry. Right. Evil. let's go down to the nether realms, down to Hades here. Right. Evil. Gotta work on that. You know, Clip Studio, it's awesome. Man, check it out, guys. If you're, a white belt artist like myself. Well, we got the elements here. How this all police down. Why counterclockwise? Why not clockwise? It doesn't really matter. Don't overthink it, guys. It's just a little. This isn't the ultimate. It's just a little graph. Just a little graph, guys. Don't overthink it here. Let's see. What are we going to start off with? We're going to start off with imagination, the fire element. Right? You know? Imagine all the people. Ooh. That's why I'm not a celebrity. I'm ready to fire. Yeah. All right. Tuition. Be open to grow. Be open to new ideas. You're not going to be an expert at everything here. Believe. I mean, my alchemy is bad. I think this is the alchemy of fire and air, right? My spirit, my magic pros, my black belt magicians. Help correct me if I'm wrong. I think those are the alchemical symbols. All right, we got fire, we got air. Let's get the boop. Fire, we got air. All right. See these bring up an upward motion. An upward motion towards the good. Towards the good. What is good? Simply liberty. Right? That is what good is. It's basically the two sacred pillars, the divine masculine, uh, the divine masculine, divine feminine, which is simply stand up for yourself and don't bother anybody else. Freedom. Freedom. That is what is good. And this imagination, this call to action, this sort of masculine fire that you want to protect and provide, the ones that you deeply care about, it'll lift you into the ethereal celestial dimensions. We got air. Air, you just take it in. Take a breath of this life in, that this precious gift that God gave you. You're not going to be um, don't let foolish, counterproductive pride have you from choking. Uh, breathe a little here, live a little. All right. All right, we got here what I like to consider these shadow emotions. We got water, good and evil. They're just basically a magnet. These sort of polar opposites that can be reconciled. Right? None of us are. We don't have to go on a crusade here. We don't have to, kill or conquer or go on some crusade and kill and conquer in the name of your God here. So we don't need to do all that here. I believe this is the element, chemical element for Earth. Really should brush up on that. And so we'll start off with water here. I mean, again, it could be healthy. It could be healthy. You don't necessarily have to go here. Be so cold-hearted, cool your life down that you just become evil. Come on, don't do that. You don't want to do that. But I mean, the shadow is necessary. Water is necessary. I mean, if you just bask in the sun all day, you're gonna cook. So don't be so radical, right? A little fear is healthy. That tiger, that bear probably isn't your best friend, right? But just because it's a tiger, just because bears are threatening, doesn't mean you go out and kill. When you let fear control you, that's evil. Evil is basically, well, you might wonder, what is evil? It's basically slavery. When you're a slave to that fear and you just do whatever fear tells you. Just kill all the tigers. Let's kill all the bears, right? Because you're scared. And we got, this is a really bad too. You got our fear. Right? We talked about the demonic masculine. I don't like the word demonic. Shadow masculine. We're gonna say shadow feminine. Shadow. I like that word. Shadow feminine. Shadow masculine. Shadow. It's be a little PC today. Politically correct. All right. So shadow masculine. Again, control. We talked about discipline. All right. But don't kill yourself trying to be so disciplined, because that might not be evil per se, but that's no way to live. We don't need to go monk mode. We don't need to be the hermit on the mountain. We don't need to be Persephone lost in the woods here. Right? But a little control, a little disciplining yourself. Earth, building, grabbing the stones and building your own castle and protecting yourself. Nothing wrong with that. But when you let it become toxic, right? When you just harden your heart to such extremes where you just lose all compassion and sympathy, here we go. We end up in the danger zone where we don't want to be. So don't harden your heart. Don't completely harden your heart. Don't completely cool it either. This is what we want, people. We want this. This is the good stuff. This is the fun stuff. Air, fire, air, boom, explosions. This is the real world. Right? You grow up here. These are the shadow ones. Is what allows you to grow up, be mature. And these two elements are your inner kid. And in Earth, nothing wrong with growing up, disciplining yourself, controlling yourself, but again, to dominate, to control others, and to enslave others, to force others to grow up. That's that's that is no bueno. No bueno. Stop. Yep, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Um, wish you guys the best. Hopefully that you embark, you learn and grow, and you climb this Jacob's ladder, this ascension to your better self, your best self. And hopefully this helps. Hopefully demystifies sort of uh, you coalesce, which means to bring many different coalesce means bring many different things into one to combine them and merge. Maybe this coalesces all these complicated mumbo jumbo mystical ideas into something. Hopefully I've helped with that, something that you can understand, something, you know. So that's all I got for you today, YouTube. Adios, bonne nuit, sayonara, good night.